Meditation is not really actually about silencing thoughts. It's more about understanding the nature of the mind and going deeper than the layer of the monkey mind, which we all know. In the system that we're working with, the Himalayan tradition, it's the physical body. We relax the physical body, and then we work with the energy body and the breath. That layer of tightness, that clench, that feeling of fear in our gut, that's the energy body. And then we work with the lower level of the mind, which is all of those thoughts that intrude. And those three layers really work together. As we're starting a practice and we're noticing we can soften our physical body, we notice the breath could be a bit deeper. And then as we're noticing that the breath starts to soften, we're noticing that the mind starts to settle. And it might still be that there's lots of thoughts going on in the mind, but if we bring our attention into something like the tension and release, or any kind of relaxation practice, or working with the breath, our nervous system starts to settle. A lot of what's driving the thoughts in our mind, especially right now, is fear. And as we experience safety for a few minutes or 20 minutes or however long we might feel that in our body, it's actually safe to be here, to soften, to let our mind go off duty for a bit. It's just like when we close our eyes, our visual center in the brain could rest. A lot of this is what we're working with. It's all tied in together. And then we get into the higher mind, intuition, and the heart. And as we get into the higher level of who we all are. But with catastrophic thinking in particular, sometimes we need to be a little firm with our mind. We need to do some tapping, look at the thought, bring the thought up, tap on your forehead, take your attention away from the thought and into the sound of the tapping, the sensation of the tapping. That's one way to break the trance of a catastrophic thought. There's other ways that we can do too. We can put it in a frame. We can work with it on the other side of the room. All of those ways, though, are trying to help us to come into this moment in time. Because in this moment in time, this is what we could work with. We could be present with ourselves. And then we notice the mind wants to go into the future because we don't know what's going to happen. And the mind wants to protect us, wants to prepare for that. A lot of the practice involves being really patient and kind with ourselves. That actually right now, especially with this level of fear, with the pandemic, it's really natural that our body feels physically threatened and that people we know and love are threatened and that our communities and the whole world is. So this is an unusually high experience of fear in the body. And that's why it's really important all the time, but especially now, to settle in and have some time when we can rest. We could do all kinds of things to release tension out of our body. A lot of people are walking outdoors. We hear all kinds of things about how we can't social distance because there's so many people in the parks. We just have to keep working with the nervous system and reassuring our mind. One of the ways that we reassure the mind is by relaxing the body. So we can say to ourselves, I'm noticing that I'm safe, that there's no physical threat right here in this room right now, and that can help. But it's when we start to relax our body and let our breath be continuous and smooth, that's when the subliminal messages come into our mind as well. And we can kind of settle that whole thing. And then the other thing that I would say about working with the thoughts in the mind too, is that we have these levels of experience. So the first experience, the direct perception, is our sensory perception. So right now, can you feel your seat? Can you feel your feet? If you were to tense your eyebrows again, you could feel that, and then it would change, the perception would change. And then we have our commentary on our experience. So, oh my, I noticed that my shoulders are really tight, or I noticed this, or I noticed that. So we have the direct experience and then the commentary. And then we often go into some kind of shaming or judgment about our experience. What's the matter with you that you're irritated all the time? What's the matter with you that your shoulders are always up around your ears? Can't you even relax, or whatever it might be? And then we go into unrelated things. So anything else basically. I need to go to the store, but I can't, or, whatever that might be. We want to always be pulling ourselves back into the direct experience or the noticing of direct experience. Those two experiences are how we stabilize our mind. And as we do that over and over, we start to experience the stillness in the mind and the stillness in our body that's always here. It's just that we're distracted by the fear, by the thoughts in our mind. A lot of what meditation is about isn't about stopping thoughts, because we can't actually do that. It's about the root of the thoughts. If the thoughts are about fear, then how could we settle the fear in our body? And our unconscious mind is stored in our body. How could we settle that fear so that we could actually come to rest? And that's part of the reason why we're coming back again and again with patience, with kindness for ourselves. This is our nervous system at work. This is what the lower mind does. And how can we be present with that and be kind with ourselves?